Ayun, so magandang hapon sa lahat. Welcome to, actually this is episode 14 of BitPinas Webcast. So medyo matagal kami nawala but ito mag-start tayo ulit and di ko na patatagalin, iakit ko na aking co-host na si Chin. Ayan,
Hey
magandang hapon
Mike!
Chin.
Hi Mike, good afternoon and good afternoon sa viewers ng webcast. Yun nga, na-mention mo ang tagal since last webcast episode natin, March 16 pa. Last
Yes,
nating
that
webcast.
was with with Nick Saniego
Mm.
and madami na rin nangyari leading up
Oh,
to
ever
this point,
since.
no? And one of the things na dumating ngayon is yung nga mga meetups. And nagbago na rin yung market cycle. Mukhang nagbago na yung
Mm.
market cycle. Kaya ito yung mga guest natin today para i-discuss itong mga bagong events dito sa crypto industry. So very briefly lang. So we are BitPinas and we are a news publication and we cover crypto, play to earn, and the NFT space dito sa Pilipinas. So we are not a marketing. We our goal is to make sure that we are the go-to platform for everything that is news and information that is happening. So yeah, ang ating episode for today sa market outlook with Aldrin Rabino. And then pag-usapan natin yung mga meetups na naganap the past few days at
Mm.
yung mga susunod pa with Jen and Ismael from BlockchainSpace and only. And finally, itong Bitcoin Pizza Day na mangyayari this Sunday. So hindi natin patagalin. Akyat muna natin ang ating
Mm.
mga audience and then uunahin natin. So we have Aldrin. Hold
Hi
on.
Aldrin!
Hey, Mike, Chin, kamusta? Magandang hapon. Sa mga viewers, what's up, guys? It's good to be back again.
Oh, tagal-tagal din.
Tagal-tagal din. Ayun, kamusta?
Okay naman, Aldrin, and salamat sa pagpunta ulit sa BitPinas Webcast. So, yeah. And then next we have si Jen from BlockchainSpace. Hi, Jen.
Hi,
Hey
Mike.
Jen!
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for having us today. It's my first time. So,
Oo
mini
nga eh.
reunion nata for the others, but great to be here.
Thank you, Jen. And finally, our last guest is si Ismael from Only. Hi, Ismael. Magandang hapon.
Hello everyone. So, it's nice to be back sa URL event.
URL event
Yes.
naman.
So, ito yung guest natin for today and magkakaroon tayo ng konting pagkakaiba sa format. We will start with Aldrin for the market outlook. So, pero bago ang lahat, papakita ko muna yung ating raffle for
Mm.
today, which is itong mint list to ng Mustache Marauder NFT from Only. Okay, mamaya di-discuss yan ni Ismael. Alright, so ibababa ko muna si Ismael and si Jen.
Okay.
And yes, andito tayo, Aldrin. And yun nga, when we finish yung last episode ng BitPinas Webcast, medyo iba yung, well, parang papunta na rin dito yung market at that time, no? So, we would love to know ano yung short-term and long-term outlook mo right now for the market. Siguro start tayo with Bitcoin and then for the market afterwards. So, you may share your screen.
Okay, sige. Na-share ko na, Mike.
Wait lang. Ayan.
Okay, siguro discuss ko lang muna dito yung recap na lang. Previous what happened
Cycles.
sa kay Bitcoin. Dito pwede nyo i-check to sa TradingView and check nyo lang dito Bitstamp or yung mga high market caps na exchanges and then dito sa timeline. So dito, maraming mga positive catalyst sana na mga nangyari before retracement. So unang-una dyan yung sa Decentralized African Republic, which is they recognize yung Bitcoin as legal tender, no? Pero ito, marami pa dito mga updates. Yung mas nagmatter siguro sa akin dito na fundamentals na sobrang halaga is yung pagtaas ng interest rate ng Feds sa US back in itong article na to back in April 27 this year, no? So bago pa magkaroon ng market crash, ito is a negative catalyst to. Overall markets, no, hindi lang cryptocurrencies, makikita din natin yung impact sa stocks, Philippine indices dito sa atin, no. So, yun, after that na in-announce, price stabilize siya, then after a few days, nagkaroon siya ng retracement sa downside, ano. So bumaba yung presyo after that announcements. So isa sa mga mahalagang fundamental catalyst is ito. Sobrang vital ito na updates in cryptocurrencies in overall markets. No? If ever na mag-raise or magtaas ng interest yung Feds, it's a drastic updates. It's a negative catalyst sa overall markets. No? So, yun yung nangyari. And then after that, nagkaroon pa dito ng issues in regards kay Terra. Kay stablecoin, no? I mean UST. So Terra Lab sold over 80k BTC para ma-defend yung UST value, no? So during that time, check ko lang dito yung UST. I mean yung Luna. So during that time, may announcements na yung US Treasury Secretary, which is si Honorable Janet Yellen. Pinupush niya yung stablecoin regulation within this year, no? So, nagkaroon din yun ng isa sa mga negative fundamental catalyst in crypto. Kaya, sobrang laki ng impact sa cryptocurrency yung nangyari na yun, no? So, siguro ito mamaya if may mga questions kayo kay LFG or kay Luna. Pero unahin natin si BTC. So, for BTC, reset chart ko muna to. Remove drawings. Kasi kanina meron din akong ginawang TAs. Kaya yung mga drawings. So, ayun. Ito yung current price actions ni BTC USDT. 4 hours time frame to kay Bitstamp Exchange. 4 hours time frame, we have symmetrical triangle dito which is a bearish pattern. So, if ever na makita natin to, it's a symmetrical triangle. It's a bearish pattern. Continuation kasi. So, continuation ng symmetrical triangle kung ano yung previous trend niya. Possible na gayahin niya, no? So, that's a continuation ng symmetrical triangle for BTC. Pero, papasok yun dyan which is end of Q2. Maraming updates na mangyayari. Siguro hindi pa yung time na yun. For me, it's my own perspective lang. Pero as of the moment, it's a bearish sign itong kay BTC na nakita natin symmetrical triangle. Maybe if ever man na i-contest ko yung price actions, possible support niya will be around 26, 27. No? So that's the short term for BTC. Maybe possible June. Pwede siyang umakyat, no? Pwede siyang umakyat pero titingnan natin sa weekly candle. Sa weekly candle, eto kasi mas maganda dito tingnan. Itong candle na to, it's a bearish candle na to. So we have 3 days pa to close this candle. And after that, kailangan mag-closes above 30k yung price actions within 3 days kasi currently 28,900 eh. So if ever na mag-close siya above maybe 30, 31, price actions will be go up pa maybe around 35 to 40 territory, no? Pero if ever, downside scenario ko dito, if ever man na magkaroon ng pagbaba ng presyo, mag-close yung candle na to, weekly candle na to below 30k territory. So there's a probability na institutions will trigger selling orders, no? Kasi it's a possible breakdown na ng support zone dito ng mga vital support na to, no? So yun yung isa sa mga malaking factors. If ever na mag-close below 30k yung price actions with BTC, institutions and other retail traders will trigger selling point dyan, and possible support zone will be maybe around 20k, no? 22 around this area support zone. Long-term perspective for BTC. So, para sa akin kasi, kung long-term, it depends din sa long-term na holders. If you're a long-term holder, itong mga trend na to na nangyayari na to is magiging flatline na lang siya if ever na long-term perspective kay. So, yung nakita ko na tweet with CC na yung mga yung mga retracements na yan, yung mga corrective move na yan, will be flatline na yan, no? As we notice yung previous price actions niya. Back in 2016, 2018, itong ano na to, itong price actions na to na. So, long term for BTC, para sa akin, still good, still bullish, long-term perspective, no? Pero yun, short-term perspective, there's a probability, possible retracements siya dito na area. And yun, logically speaking na lang na if ever the candle, yung weekly candle closes above 30 territory, price may go up around maybe 34 to 40K. Pero if the price action sa weekly candle will below 30K, maybe we'll see another retracement move sa downside wherein yung next support zone can be triggered ulit sa 25 down to maybe 20K territory for PTC.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Aldrin, sa technical analysis mo for BTC. And you've been doing technical analysis for a long time. And can you share some stories or like some charts from like the previous cycles na so our audience can see like what happened during like 2018 or 2016 as you mentioned?
Ayun, sure. Sa 2017, ito na napagdaanan ko tong cycle na to back in 2017. 27 bull run and then after that retracement yung price actions niya. So dito, we have 4 stages of market cycle na tinatawag. We have unang-una yung accumulation, and then next is yung advancing na tinatawag. We're in yung pagtaas ng price action. And then after that is the distribution phase. And then nagkaroon dito ng declining. So ayan. And then after that, accumulation ulit. So yung market kasi ano talaga siya nagre-reflect talaga siya sa cycle eh. So for example for BTC, for stages ng market cycle, accumulation, advancing, distribution, tsaka declining. So ito itong galaw na to, bumalik siya ng accumulation. Ayan. And then after that, advancing na ulit. Nagkaroon siya ulit dito ng advancing. And then distribution ulit dito. And then accumulation. So siguro itong nangyayari in cryptocurrencies is just part of the trend lang talaga na we have cycle for stages of market cycle. Yun, so yun yung na-experience ko lang din before na if you think na price actions are declining na, you should park your assets sa mga just like it's stable coin, USDT, USDC, mga ganung scenario.
Okay, thanks Aldrin dun nga, and as someone like me din, kagaya mo rin na nag-ano nga dito sa 2017, ito rin yung naranasan ko na bull run, and then sobrang like 2 or 3 years na talagang baksak, and then accumulation period, no? Na-mention mo yung stable coins, and at that time, yun nga, di ba, kapag nag-bull run, take profits, i-park mo sa stable coins. Kasi itong stable coins for our audience, like 1:1 siyang peg to a particular fiat currency. Like for example, the US dollar para sa USDT, USDC, and ito ang UST. And speaking of UST, which is Terra UST, and then yung sa Luna, which is one of the biggest events na nangyari sa crypto. And sabi nga nila is that is one of that what happened is what happened. Yun yung nangyari kaya nag-crash yung yung naging epekto nung nangyari sa doon sa Terra and sa sa Luna tsaka sa UST. Kaya bumaba rin yung market sa ganitong kung ano man yung presyo niya ngayon.
Oh, Aldrin, you're on mute.
Nakamute ka.
Oh, my bad. So, ayun, isa sa mga factors talaga yon na 80K BTC is very, kumbaga sobrang bigat niyan para ipasok mo sa markets, and then after that you sell that BTC just to defend UST. So, yun, isa sa factors talaga yon na na nagpagalaw ng market sa downside. Pero before that kasi yung minention ko kanina yung interest rates, ng pagtaas ng interest rates ng Federal Reserve sa US, it's another catalyst yun na negative, no? And then follow up by um, what happened to Terra ecosystem, no? So yun, isa sa factors yun, sobrang laking factor yun as I shared nung chart na 'to, itong area na 'to, eh. So, ito yung binagsak ng market maybe here hanggang dito. So, it's 27, -27%. So, yan yung epekto nung what happened with Terra Luna. I mean on what happened sa naging issues, 'no. Maraming nagsasabi na it's a maraming mga expert na nagsasabi na it's a predictable na scenario. Um Kasi if you notice sa reserves ng UST, ng LFG, ng Luna Foundation Guard, yung majority ng reserves nila is cryptocurrencies, eh. So, meron silang tweet dito na ito yung mga reserves nila, eh. So, cryptocurrency, alam naman natin cryptocurrency is very volatile. Wala akong nakita dito na reserves for mga liquid collateralized assets, mga for example, yung mga fiat assets, no. So, yun, maraming nagsasabi na it's a ano daw, predicted, mga expert in field of in yung field sa markets, financial markets, no. So, yun, if ever na bumaba yung cryptocurrency and then kumukuha ka ng reserve sa cryptocurrency din, what will happen will a domino effect, eh. So, bababa yung pinoprotektahan mo, doon ka kumukuha sa mababa na assets, and at the same time bumababa yung value nun. So, yun yung medyo naging usap-usapan din in financial markets forum. Unlike USDC and USDT na meron talaga silang reserve assets, no? Meron sa mga liquid collateralized assets na if ever na magkaroon man ng small fluctuations ay pwede silang kumuha doon for the reserves ng isang crypto assets. For example, USDC backed by Circle, USDT backed by other institutions na pwedeng magkaroon ng backup if ever na mas bumaba pa yung presyo, and sobrang lower lang yung risk ng kanilang mga reserves. So, yun lang.
Thank you so much, Aldrin. No? So, ang key takeaway natin dyan for our audience is that iba-iba yung stable merong algorithmic back, and we have this article from BitPinas that explains them, courtesy of our writer Julian. You can check that on our homepage, and I think kakashare lang din namin yan sa BitPinas Facebook page. So this market outlook and Bitcoin long term and short term and long term outlook, no. Maraming salamat, and ibababa muna kita sa stage, and mamaya balikan ka namin for the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Aldrin. All right. Mike, you're on mute. Ayun.
And so let's move on to our next topic, Norchin. So ayan nga, merong dumating na dahil ano na, parang nagkaroon ng medyo opening up na yung country natin. Dumadami na ulit yung mga meetups. Hindi lang naman dito sa Pilipinas, but also abroad,
Yeah.
mga crypto meetups, NFT meetups. And madami din ako napuntahan sa kanila. Pero itong mga kasama natin ngayon sa webcast is mas madami sila napuntahan, and most probably nag-organize din sila ng mga meetups nito. So akitin natin sa stage si Jen from BlockchainSpace. Hi Jen, ulit.
Hey, Jen.
And then si nag-freeze, and then si Isma from only
Yun. Hello
Ayan.
everyone. Hi. It's nice to be back sa webcast.
Ayan. Jen is back. Ayan. Hindi na siya
Ayan si Jen.
naka-freeze.
Sorry.
Ayan.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mike and Chin. Internet is kind of unstable. We're in the Philippines.
Umuulan eh.
Oo nga, lakas ng ulan dito. Well, pahina naman.
Ayun na lang.
Yes.
Alright.
So, yeah, very briefly lang, sa inyong dalawa, let's start with Jen. Briefly introduce yourself and your company, what do you do? Very briefly lang, and then we can proceed to the main topic. So, yeah, Jen.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Jen from BlockchainSpace, and what I do is basically, well, BlockchainSpace. You had Peter a couple of times. We started as an event organizer for any crypto projects who wanted to penetrate the Philippines. No, way back, 2018. Our founder Peter, he probably knows Mike for a long time as well,
Mhm.
and before pre-pandemic times, a lot of projects when they wanted to get to know the Philippine community, kami yung nagfa-facilitate. Recently, I think about 2 years when Play to Earn, Axie Infinity really became a big thing. We were one of the first guilds. We also have our own token as well. So we conducted our IDO and we evolved, seeing that there's a opportunity for a data aggregator and infrastructure provider for the for blockchain gaming in general. No, so we are the biggest data aggregator and infrastructure provider, serving about in our database we have about 24,000 guilds, and representing about 1.5 million players. So there are a couple of things that we provide to guilds. So if you're familiar with Axie Infinity, guilds facilitated their adoption dito sa Pilipinas. Maybe you know a couple of friends or even yourself, even people who are also present here na naglalaro ng Axie Infinity. And there are other games na ngayon na nag-offer. So we have several products that we offer and several services, but maybe that's for another time. I'm taking too much airtime. So back to you, Mike.
And thank you so much, Jen. And then, Isma.
Yun. Hello everyone, GM. So hi everyone, I'm Isma. So I'm the CEO and founder of Only. So we are an innovative art and gaming NFT platform. So we basically create games out of NFT art collections. We have our own currency, it's called Own Token. We have our own marketplace, it's called Only That Market, and we have our own staking platform. So we simply optimize ownership and utility through NFTs. So yeah, hello.
Ayan, so thank you Ismar, no? And so yun nga, ang topic natin ngayon is yung return of the meetups and the NFT events. So unahin ko yung question kay Jen. Because blockchain space, as you mentioned, has been leading this many events in the past, no? Guro, the first question is how did the company transition to what it is today? So I'm sure there's like a long period, like 2020, 2021, like parang, so yun, how did you guys transition to what it is, to what blockchain is today?
Sure. So actually, during the pandemic, but prior
Sino ako
even
muna? Ay, go, go, go.
okay. So prior to the pandemic, we hosted events, and then that's how we got in touch with Axie Infinity founders. So when Jiho visited the Philippines, kami yung nag-host together with Gabby Dizon, no? And what happened was we were nung nagka-pandemic, we cannot host these events. And we realized, okay, dun lumabas yung scholarship model. And we were one of the first guilds, no? So what happened then was we established Axie Academy. So we have scholars, etc. And over time, what we did was, dahil to some extent we have background in tech, our founder had previous startups before, and we saw the adoption has been quite um, yung growth ng scholars and interest of play to earn was there, no? So seeing the opportunity, we decided, okay, let's provide tech, let's provide products to help guilds scale, no? So we now evolve into a data aggregator infrastructure, so tools, SaaS. For those of you guys who are familiar with that, parang CRM, ERP solutions, solution provider, no? So pag gusto mong i-manage yung guild mo, monitor mo yung scholars, we have our products. Nung time na nag-open up yung when we can now host events, we realized na kailangan talaga namin na to reach out, no? Nung when during the pandemic, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-meet in person, so lahat ng interactions natin was through online lang. But you cannot really replicate the bonding and the relationship and the conversation in real IRL events, no? So we started doing guild meetups. We pivoted a little bit. We pivoted a little bit such that we are now focused on anything related to guilds. Number one, if you're looking at other games, etc., we have a lot of game partnerships. For tools, we also have several products catered to you monitoring your scholars, and at the same time we have financing solutions. No? So if you needed capital to finance and you don't have the wherewithal to create your own guild or to expand, we have the connection to other projects that can and will be able to provide you those solutions. So kaya namin sinimulan ulit yung meetups, a lot of factors. Number one, dahil pwede na. Second is gusto namin ma-meet yung mga guilds that were using our products, and it's a way for us to get to know them, ano yung mga features na kailangan nila, etc. And yung unang meetup namin was in Bulacan. Guild owners, guild managers, we just talked about play to earn. No? Marami pang, even though may mga, you know, someone out there who's playing Axie Infinity or meron silang guild, kailangan pa rin natin ma-educate yung public and yung community about it. So we started in Bulacan, and then we wanted to reach out to as many communities as possible. So the next meetup na hinost namin is yung sa Cebu, together with Isma and Nix Inigo of Axie Infinity, and then YG Alerts, sila Bryle, sila Fee, sila Spracky, sila Kuku as well. And ang topic namin is around guilds, no? So guilds as a growth engine for Web3 adoption here in the Philippines. So we'd like moving forward, well, mukhang naman a lot of interest. After nung Cebu meetup namin, maraming nag-reach out sa amin that they wanted to have in one of their communities as well. Nakakatuwa nga kasi yung iba talagang excited na mag-meet with other people, and then they flew in. Some of them traveled all the way from Mindanao, even Luzon. Sabi ko nga may magkakaroon kami ng meetup sa Manila. Si Isma came all the way from Bicol pa. So yeah, quite exciting. We pivoted, but it's one of the ways that we can reach out and have this grassroots connection to the community.
Yan. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. And ayun nga, pinaka-recent event nyo is sa Cebu. And you've mentioned na way back before the pandemic, you guys have been organizing these events for the blockchain and crypto community here in the Philippines. So question ko lang is, since you've hosted or organized events in Bulacan and then Cebu, ano yung difference nung before sa kayong now na in real life events? Like, did you see the community grow further, or nag-iba ba yung topics because of the guilds and play to earn? Can you share us your story about it?
Sure. Definitely, they have more knowledge in terms of crypto and blockchain, no? So nakakatuwa. Before, we were convincing them na hindi to scam. We were convincing them that, blockchain is here to stay. We're not scamming you for anything. But now, medyo mas informed na sila. So you can now go through the next step of the process, which is what are the games that I should be playing, or how do I build my own community, etc. No? So nakakatuwa dahil in just a span of 2 years, even less, a year and a half, that knowledge and the education that these guilds provided to their respective communities elevated the discussion regarding crypto. So I think we're starting to see interest. And ngayon, even students, people from different backgrounds. Before, yung mga umaattend lang ng mga blockchain events, mga from finance, people from the CBDs, urban areas. Pero when you see, even from Bulacan, Cebu, it's well attended because the interest is there and they want to learn more.
Right. That's amazing to hear na yun nga from different provinces na reach na siya ng online events, and then ngayon nagkakaroon na ng more in real life events. So speaking of that, Isma, Jen mentioned na nag-attend ka nung guild meetup nila sa Cebu. So you've attended more events rather than just that one. You've had the event with Mike then at Mint
Mhm.
and Greet, if I'm not mistaken. So can you share us your experience naman? Because we've been talking online and having this webcast, doing online webinars. But ngayon na in real life na, kamusta yung experience mo with these crypto and blockchain events?
Yun. Ah, ay so far kasi ano, when we started building in the crypto space since 2019, nag-host din kami ng mga blockchain meetups back then. We're hosting Bicol blockchain meetups together with SparkPoint. So we started with a small gathering, asking other people to learn more about the blockchain. We have our nonprofit organization here. It's called Bicol IT. So parang siya yung naging stepping stone namin as an organization to invite other IT professionals, students, and enthusiasts to learn more about blockchain. So it was 2019 back then, pre-pandemic, and we were crypto solitaire pa nun. So if you heard of crypto solitaire, it's kami yun, kami na yung only ngayon. And yun, nag-pandemic, mas nag-focus kami in building our product, creating more uh, products in Web3, then focus more in URL events, which is online events, Twitter Spaces. And then just last month lang bumalik ulit yung maluwag na IRL events. So yun nga na-mention, I think nakawalong events ako, including the two events recently sa Cebu. Starting from the Manila Crypto Club to Meet and Greet, up to the NMG 2022 at the Cove Manila, up to the last event sa Cebu with BlockchainSpace. Yan. Then I've met several, actually a lot of Web3 friends, yung mga friends lang sa Twitter na nakikita. Yan, sila Sprayky, sila Kuku, I've met them. Some of the core of the YGGs. And I've met also si Mike in person. Sa usually kasi online lang din nag-uusap, Twitter, people from Crypto Art Philippines and YGG community. And yun, I think it's a very essential experience to connect with several people from the space kasi it's easier for us to collaborate, to create partnership, to create a good relationship, harmonious relationship with other NFT projects here in the Philippines. And yun,
Ayan. Thank you for sharing, Isma. So, actually, na-meet ko din si Isma in person during the
ayun.
YGG Web3 meetup with Bitcraft. And also, Jen, you were there as well. So, yun.
Ayun.
Si Mike, recently, nakasama ko siya sa MetaCrafters launch, and Jen was there as well. So, yan.
Ayun.
It's nice to see the people na you've been working with like online, and then makita mo sila in real life, and
Ayun.
then you get to share the human interaction talaga na face to face, 'di ba? Iba talaga siya compared to like webcast or like Twitter Spaces. Although, I think ang challenging lang doon is, for example, with someone like you, Isma, no? And I know Mike is gonna get to this question, but i-open ko na din. You're from Albay, so like most of the events are in Manila or like in Cebu. So,
Mhm.
anong tawag dito? How do you ensure na like meetups are everywhere? Because Jen mentioned na Bulacan, they hosted an event, and then Cebu, di ba? Like, for you, and as you're based in Albay, like, do you also host like meetups there ngayon na maluwag na? Or are you guys planning to like host meetups in other parts of the Philippines? This is
Yun,
also a question
sakto.
for Jen then after.
Oo. Actually bukas meron kaming ano, only blockchain meetup. Sakto bukas 'yon. It's our third blockchain meetup event simula nung 2019. So, 'yun bumalik na ulit and we are planning to do this at least every month or every other month because we're preparing to also to host a blockchain conference here in Bicol because we have an interesting Web3 startup ecosystem here. We have MGG, Metagaming Guild, which is a startup focused more on GameFi and guilds. We have SparkPoint, which is a startup focused on DeFi and crypto. They have our own crypto wallet. we have Sparklearn. They are focused in edtech, and us only we're focused in NFT and metaverse. So yeah, so that's why we are also looking at hosting our own blockchain conference here, and attract other projects as well to visit our place here in Albay, because I think we can optimize the tourism aspect here in Albay, because we have lots of good tourist destinations here, and it would be something great if other projects would also visit us. Kasi it's not only I mean, the scene is not only happening in the metro, it's not only happening in Manila. The blockchain itself allows anyone to build anywhere. So, yun, kagaya sa amin, we're outside Manila, but we are able to at least build startups like the startups I've mentioned earlier. And yeah, and I think it's something also that needs to be explored, and something that needs to be discovered by other projects.
Yeah, tama ka din, Isma, no? And I guess one of the eye-opener din during the pandemic is that, yun nga, sabi mo, anyone can build businesses online, di ba? Kahit actually online sa Facebook, di ba? Like people are online selling, and then businesses, deals get done online without people meeting each other. I've heard a lot of mga interviews na ganon, like they haven't met, but they were able to create companies, and then even NFT projects. Sa BitPinas Webcast, we have Lala Draws in yung mga lumang mga dati naming webcast, and then yung iba pa na guest. So people, they haven't met each other, but they were able to create like projects and partnerships and businesses, no? So I guess my question to the two of you is ngayong bumabalik na yung in real life meetups, are we going full in real life meetups na lang? Or do you think webinars will still continue or hybrid bang mangyayari? So let's start with Jen.
Sure. And before I touch on that question, I'll just echo what Isma said, no? So, these communities and creators, builders can come from everywhere. That is something that Web3 blockchain gaming really gave rise to, no? And that's why recognizing that, hindi lang kaya nakikita mo parang puro mga probinsya ang pinupuntahan namin. So what will happen is we will also be going to different kami pupunta mismo sa communities. So Bulacan, Cebu, we will also do, as I mentioned, maraming mga guild partners namin nang nag-i-invite sa mga lugar nila. We might go to Bicol as well, Isma. So if pwedeng you host us and we'll be there if pwede. And then together with, I think one of the things rin is YGG announced, so I'm plugging now the roadshow of YGG alerts. They will be going to, I think, Baguio, and at least once a month meron silang meetups. Pero iba-iba yung audience. It gives you that different flavor to some extent. So kasi marami ng aspects ngayon ng blockchain, no? So I think may mga catered for scholars, for NFT artists, and even for guilds as well. So yun yung focus namin. So I think we recognize that as event, kung may event coordination department rin kami, we recognize that you need to go to each respective community. It's not gonna be focused sa metro lang. So yung question mo naman, Mike, in terms of what will be kung magiging hybrid na ba siya, or how it would look like moving forward. I think it to some extent magiging hybrid. So for those that will not be able to attend, they might live stream. So yung sa Cebu meetup namin, we live stream that event. And similar to for those that cannot travel, or for other reasons, for various reasons hindi makaka-attend but they like to listen, it will be a mixed omni-channel experience. So kasi marami na talaga everywhere. So moving forward, but it the IRL events, the personal aspect, talking to the partners in front of you, it's quite a different experience altogether. That's what we missed out before. But you have to balance it kasi travel time, ganyan, di ba? So we now have more choices, and I think that is something that is here to stay.
And thank you so much, Jen, no? And tama ka, iba nga talaga yung experience when it comes to in real life meetups. But of course, maganda rin na recognizing na there are other people who cannot go for a particular meetup, no? That's why yun yung sa Cebu Meetup, di ba? Naging hybrid siya. And also on the meetup that we organized together with Crypto RPH and BitPinas and Only and Team Manila. So parang that was called Meet and Greet last April 23. And hybrid din yung experience niya. Like people who are not able to come, pwede sila dun sa manood ng live stream. And actually, the interesting thing was that may mga tao daw na nagpunta doon sa meetup asking ganito, parang, ito ba yung naka-live stream sa Facebook ngayon? Like people came there kasi nakita nila yung yung Facebook live stream. So I guess ayun, yun yung mga susunod na magiging mangyayari sa mga meetups in the future, no. And then yeah, how about you, Isma?
Yun. Ano kasi siya it's not a question of uh, online or IRL event. I think it's online and IRL event. Yun na yung mangyayari. It's something that we can optimize the best of both worlds, di ba? It's not something that we need to weigh in kung ano yung mas better over the other kasi we can optimize both. We have audiences na online. We also have audiences in real life. Ayun na nga yung na-mention din kanina, yung meet and greet event. Actually, di ba, yung meet and greet event, nabuo lang siya online pero in-execute siya in real life. So, 'di ba, it's a good example of something that is hybrid, that an event that's being formed online pero in-execute natin siya in real life. At the same time, may online event pa din siya. And that being said, other people may also come and visit in real life events and attend at the same time online. And yun, I think I'm looking forward to also to look and to see other events executing similar approach kasi it will reach talaga lots of audiences na hindi siya limited for those people who are able to attend physically on that event. And yun, nakamute ka ata, Mike.
Ayan, thank you so much, Isma, no. Ito yung mga events na nilista mo actually before itong webcast natin. And sabi mo nga, most of this you have attended, no? Ito yung mga, like, example, yung Manila Crypto Club, and then the meet and greet that we organize, and then yung Pinblocks event with PDAX and YGG alerts, and then yung sa Block Tides naman, yung NFT game, Metaverse and GameFi, no? And then the NAS Academy Crypto Meetup, the YGG Beatcraft Meetup, the XLD Finance Meetup na ako din naman nandun ako. And then yung MetaCrafters launch nitong Tuesday, no? So, and we are also looking forward sa mga future events and marami nang naka-line up. And in fact, sa BitPinas, to our audience, meron na tayong event page ulit. So, yun lang, bitpinas.com/event. Punta lang kayo doon, nandun yung mga events na kalista. Kapag nakita ko siya, and then if you want, you can also contribute din doon para mabuo yung parang event natin. We had that before the pandemic. Talagang ang haba na niya. And then nawala, and then we were not able to update. Pero ngayon, binilik na namin. And we're going to open that to contributions para if ever na you want to, meron kang event na plano, may i-input nyo siya doon. So, yeah, very briefly lang, mga pictures from events. So, shout out to CTTO, to the owners of these pictures. So ito yung GameFi event, yung Web3 event, yung Meet and Greet, the Cebu Meetup, the Beatcraft Meetup. So yeah, thank you so much, Isma and Jan, for this for our for contributing to the topic of meetups in real lives, and we look forward sa mga meetups nyo in the future. So ibababa muna namin kayo sa stage, and then we're going to talk about the next topic. So thank you, and wait lang. So Chin.
Ayan. Alright. So, yun nga, parang siksik yung mga meetups and events nung time na yun, no? So, ngayon na pwede na nga ulit mag-host ng meetups and events, merong Bitcoin Pizza Day happening this May 22nd at Vapor Startup House that is located in Makati. So, this is a collaboration with Pizza DAO. So, question for Mike, ano yung Bitcoin Pizza Day?
Okay, so for our audience, no,
Mm.
2010 kasi, at that time, yung Bitcoin halos wala pa siyang value, and no one is using it for payments until one person, si I forgot yung first name, pero si Haniek yung apelyido niya. Ang ginawa niya is parang bumili siya ng pizza, two pizza, in exchange for 10,000 BTC. So 10,000 BTC for two pizzas, year 2010. And I guess that is the first time that is the first recorded time na parang may nagkanap na payment using Bitcoin.
Mm.
So at that point, parang nakita na, Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin can be used for payment. Bitcoin has value. Kasi you can exchange it for
Right.
something that is a tangible or product or edible product, no? So every year, nagkaroon na itong tinatawag na Bitcoin Pizza Day. Around the world, sinaselebrate siya ng not just Bitcoiners, no? Hindi lang mga maximalists or whatever. Pero like the entire crypto industry celebrates itong historic event na to for the industry. It is also to remind si Kuya kung magkano na sana yung 10,000 Bitcoin niya kung hindi niya yung binili ng pizza. So I don't
Right.
know which is which, pero yun yung ano niya. So eto nga, on May 22, we are inviting you to this Bitcoin Pizza Day event sa Draper Startup House sa Poblacion, Manila. So we have this event page sa BitPinas din, and meron din sa Facebook, sa Draper Startup House Facebook, and also on our Facebook, no. So sponsored siya by PDAX. Si Bitpinas, we organize one of the panels doon sa particular
Okay.
event. So kasi there will be two panels eh. And then all other activities that I think we will be announcing also today or after this webcast. So
All right.
yeah, what's happening this Sunday? So meron kaming guests do sa panel namin. We're going to discuss Bitcoin. We're going to discuss the market outlook. So hindi pa namin siya nare-reveal ngayon pa lang. Ito yung guest namin for that particular panel. So sila po,
Oh, okay.
we have Luis from YGG. We have Miguel from SCI. We have Ed Martinez from PDAX. And we have Franco Araneta from Coins.ph. So I'm not sure this is the first time that they're together in one
Mm.
particular um, panel or session.
Yeah, in
But
real life
these
panel.
people have led. Luis also was from Bloom, so a license exchange then. So this is the first time that people from different exchanges are together to discuss itong Bitcoin and the future market outlook nila. Kasi on the events that I have attended in the past, people are in Wagni spirit, no? Like we're all going to make it, like this is all going to go up. And then this happened and the market is nag-iba na yung market cycle niya. So I guess it is important to learn from people who have experienced
Mm.
it before, who have experienced this yung mga previous market cycles. So it is going to be an interesting discussion with these four people. And pizzas on that day free from Pizza
Yeah,
daw.
nakita ko nga. Free
Yeah.
pizzas by Rare Pizzas and Draper Startup House. So, how do they actually like do they have to sign up or kailangan ba nilang um, sign up sa link or like via BitPinas lang or free for everyone yung pizzas?
Yes, once you are there, so free talaga yung pizza for everyone.
Mm.
So meron siyang registration link na we can share
Okay.
after this webcast, and although up na rin naman siya sa Twitter, sa BitPinas page, and also sa BitPinas Facebook page. So i-up na lang natin siya afterwards para makita niyo yung sign up link, and hopefully makapunta kayo. So it's going to be an interesting discussion with lots of pizzas then. And but don't forget nga bukas mga nasa Bicol may blockchain meetup din sila na madami ding pizza in celebration of Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Advance. All right. Okay, thank you Mike for sharing the Bitcoin pizza like history dun sa mga hindi knowledgeable about like what Bitcoin Pizza Day is. Ayun siya. So I think we're towards the end of the webcast. Should we bring back Isma for
Yep.
the raffle and everyone else for
Yes.
question and answer then? You have questions from the audience?
So andito na ating mga guest back sa audience. So nakakita ako ng ng question kanina.
Mm.
I guess this should be for Isma kasi Miss Metaverse question siya eh. What is the Metaverse daw? Isma, I forgot kung nasan yung pag nakita ko. Isma,
Ano yung question? Ano yung question?
what is the Metaverse?
Okay. So, yun. I think if I'm gonna explain metaverse to non-crypto natives. It's basically you using your phone. It's already the metaverse. It's basically kasi it's an immersive experience of our physical life and our digital lives. So you using your phone, you can consider it as a metaverse. You using your laptop, you can consider it as a metaverse, but on the early stage. What we are looking forward to through this Web3, this blockchain technology, is to have that more immersive experience, those 3D world experiences, those open world experiences that we are, for example, the Ready Player One movie, those stuff that's being executed there on the movie na parang uh, virtual reality with augmented realities in one place. So that's an advanced phase of the metaverse. But for now, for at least for us to be able to participate in that quote unquote metaverse economy, just it's just us using our phones or our computers, having our physical and digital lives immerse through those gadgets. So yun.
Thank you so much, Isma. And then we have this particular question from Ernesto. I guess this is for Aldrin. Um, when is the next bull market? You're non-financial advice, so I guess we can rephrase the question, no? For our safety. But what should we be doing now na ganito yung market cycle?
Eating chocolates. Pampatawag. Ngayon siguro currently kasi market kasi still running yung market eh. So ang ginagawa ko ngayon is for example, may volatility in particular coin. I still keep on trading pa din, pero conservative trade, scalping naman na scenario. And then I do contents din sa YouTube channel. So yun mainly previous cycle kasi I've been employed eh. So yung focus ko is naging motivated ako sa pag-work during bear market back in 2018, 2019. So ngayon yung ginagawa ko is yun, just to screen altcoins, yung mga possible na pwede take advantage. Scalp trade, create contents para sa community, kung ano yung gusto nilang matutunan. Yun. Yung questions na next bull market, it's hindi natin wala akong magic ball to say pero usually if we notice price actions ni cryptocurrencies or BTC, nagkakaroon siya talaga ng massive uptrend move if ever na i-open or magkaroon ulit ng halving. So yun yung mga fundamental catalyst na positive for BTC. Siguro merong other cryptocurrencies or altcoins na BTC is going down pero itong cryptocurrency na to will goes up. Maybe it depends on the trend. Just like what happened last year na BTC steady lang pero play to earn is yun yung nagmatter. So this year maraming mga speculation sa community that DAOs or decentralized autonomy DAOs or decentralized autonomous organizations will be the next trend. Web3 move to earn something. So siguro yun yung titingnan natin, excluding the bull market for high market caps. So siguro NFTs still in very early stage pa din. So play to earn, mga ganyan, no? So yun siguro yung yung sagot ko dyan for bull markets, high market caps. Ethereum 2.0 yan, antabayanan din natin. Pero for BTC is yung halving yung pinaka malakas na catalyst for BTC.
Okay, thank you so much, Aldrin. And you mentioned yung Bitcoin halving, wherein yung rewards nga per Bitcoin will be is cut in half. And I think we discussed that in the previous webcast. I think that was episode 3 with Miguel and Attorney Rap about Bitcoin. So you guys can check that out. Oh. And you mentioned nga no during bear market getting employed. And sabi nga 'di ba parang yung builders build during the bear market no. So we have here in the webcast, we have blockchain space building kite nung nagkaroon pa ng bear market. So yeah, yun talaga. I think this is one of the times to actually learn. So ganun din naman for example on myself 2017 start akong nagtalpak ba yung tawag doon sa Bitcoin, and then wala tayong alam kung ano siya, and then after that I got to learn more about cryptocurrencies after nung nagkaroon na ng downturn. So yeah, and then we have another interesting question naman from Evans. I think we have been talking about Web3 din kanina, but we did not actually define for Jen and Isma, if you want to define ano po bang pinakaiba ng Web2 and Web3, and siguro yung Web1 na rin.
Want to take that, Isma? Or okay, I'll
Sig-
take a
go.
first stab at it, and then Isma if they want to add. So for Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. So Web 1 during the 80s or 70s, I think, when the internet was very static, meaning it's a way for you to just input information and then you just consume it. Web 2, so I'm keeping it very in layman's term, right? So internet was static, meaning you just receive information. Whereas in Web 2, what happened was you also contribute information based on how you interact with the platform or anything or on the web page. So, but what happened during Web 2 is most of these platforms are organized or are over spearheaded by centralized entities, the likes of Google, Meta, Facebook, now called Meta, Twitter, etc. And the risk of having a centralized entity controlling what you see is obviously autonomy and to some extent transparency and ownership of your data. Now, Web3, facilitated by blockchain technology, is there's now a decentralized platform wherein it will be number one collectively decided by whoever is the validators, etc. So all of there's no one central governing authority entity that controls what you see or how your data is being managed. So I think that, and to some extent you can it one way or another own whatever data or whatever asset that you have in the internet. So that has been to some extent unlocked when the creators of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, solved the Byzantine theory problem. So I think general Byzantine's problem in blockchain. So that really gave rise in terms of a decentralized, meaning a ledger, decentralized platform that no one will be able to override, etc. So that snowballed into something much more, right? At the dawn of NFTs, and even us, like data aggregators and guilds, GameFi guilds. So yeah.
So yun, siguro I'll add a little more about the information on what's the difference between Web 2 and Web 3. Well, Web 1, just think of it as the early version of the internet. That's the earliest version of the internet. Kung saan yung mga websites pa lang, wala pa masyadong magandang interface. That's the Web 1. And yung tinatawag na internet bubble dati, yung mga kung nabuhay na kayo ng 90s, I think, or early 2000s, yan nagkaroon ng internet bubble. Then, yung Web 2, just think of Web 2 as the social media era where Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, where people are allowed to create contents, to contribute on the platform. But those platforms are centralized, meaning it's a user, it's no no no, it's a company-centered network. So meaning every data, for example, Facebook, you're creating content on Facebook, you're actually creating content for Facebook under your name. So the data is being contributed to the company who owns that application. While on Web3, which is we are here right now on the very early stage, the ownership is given back to the people, just like what Jen said earlier about Bitcoin allows a peer-to-peer transaction, 'di ba? It eliminates intermediaries to financial institutions to become the middleman on every transactions. And yeah, it's more a decentralized network, meaning it's a user owned network. Uh our our assets is being being proved through NFTs. For example, we have digital assets. It is something that we truly own through the blockchain technology, and we have this called token-based economy, where cryptocurrencies are being used as the money on the internet, where we have those transactions with the internet of value is being provided. And yeah, and the so-called metaverse, it is something that most of people right now are looking forward to in building in the Web3 space. So yeah, that's it.
And thank you so much, Isma, no, and Jen for that explanation on Web3. And we can actually go on, but we are at na 6:02 na. And siguro we go with the rapport, and I can see some interesting questions. Yung iba na answer na during the webcast, and then others definitely a good topic for us. So ito na nga may Bitpinas webcast na ulit, and we can certainly cover all the topics that nandito ngayon. So yeah, Ismail, we are now going to the raffle, and so very briefly lang, can you describe itong mustacho Marauders NFT?
Yun. As mentioned earlier, in Only we create games through NFT art collection. So actually this raffle is called the Mustachio Marauders. So nag-start siya as a PFP, as an NFT PFPs, yan na 2D PFPs. Then we created a 3D version of each PFPs for users to be able to use their PFPs to other platforms such as games. So yun, we're giving 3 mint list for the Mustachio Marauder. Actually, Marauders are the second batch of Mustachios. The first batch are called the Pathfinders. Those are the Genesis set of Mustachios. And now we're creating the second set of Mustachios, where they are called the Mustachio Marauders, where you can use each NFTs in our upcoming game called Mustachio Quest. So it's a metaverse play and earn 3D open world type of game where you can play inside the world of mustachios using your mustachios. And yun, so medyo ilo-launch namin siya mga later pa this year. So closed beta testing is already up for those Pathfinders holders. And yun.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Isma. No? So, ito ipapakapol na natin. Etong particular, ano? So, tatlo yung mananalo, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm. Uy.
Okay, Carms, nanalo ka ng mint list ng Mustachio Marauder NFT. Message mo lang kami sa BitPinas. Congratulations. And then, let's draw again. Okay, so, this is part of the BitPinas tab. So, she cannot win, but thank you din sa pagka-comments. So, let's draw again.
So yun, they can actually visit mustachioverse.com to learn more about the game, on how we build. Ayan, may nanalo. Evans, Wendell.
Mm. Ayan, Evans, and mag-message ka lang sa amin sa Facebook namin. Congratulations sa'yo. And then last, dapat natatanggal yung no? And then yan, si Sip, yan, nanalo ka ng mint list ng Mustachio Marauder NFT. So, message mo lang kami sa BitPinas. Congratulations sa iyo. So, yeah, maraming salamat sa lahat ng nagpunta and dito nanood ng aming BitPinas Webcast. I-add ko lang ating guest for today. And then our co si Chin, and then si Aldrin, and then si Jen. So, guys, any final words lang, and where can people find you? Let's start with Aldrin.
Ayun. Um, siguro, ah, yun, last words. Ay, last words.
Oo,
So, yun, siguro, any market condition siguro you need to be still motivated tsaka productive pa rin kung
Mm.
ano yung gusto mong gawin. Just do, basta sa tingin mo is productive yun and makakatulong sa'yo in the future siguro. Yun, pwede niyong ah, may socials pala is sa Facebook, Crypto Fortune, halos yung tatlong Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, tsaka Telegram, at YouTube, Crypto Fortune yung username. So, kung merong mga nagme-message sa inyo na different username, so please be aware of that. Hindi ako or just report
Yeah.
for example, sa Facebook. No? So, yun. Maraming salamat sa pag-invite ulit, Mike, and sa mga
ayan,
guests natin.
naglag si Aldrin, pero salamat sa ano.
I think si Mike yung naglalag. Ako lang
Ako
ba
pala yung
yun?
naglag. Mhm.
Ayun, okay na.
Okay, thank you so much, Aldrin. And then, Ismael, final words and where can people find you?
I think Jen or
Yeah.
Isma ba ang sinunod? Ayan,
Yeah,
sige.
I
Si
guess
Jen muna. And then si
Gen
Isma.
Z.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, BitPinas, for having us here. So just follow our socials on Twitter, blockchain_SPC. Visit our website, blockchainspace.asia, and all of the information and relevant, meetups, etc. We post it naman on our Facebook. You also visit our, Twitter and on Facebook. Our Facebook is blockchain_space_official. So yeah, that's it
Yes.
for my side.
Thank you so much, Jen. Final words and where people can find you.
Yun, thank you Bitpinas for sa pagbabalik ulit ng webcast. So yun, you can find only more information about us on Twitter and on Facebook. It's only.io. So it's also our website only.io. And to learn more about Mustachio Quest, so you can visit our Twitter page at Mustachioverse and our website mustachioverse.com. And yun, good luck bukas sa aming upcoming blockchain meetup. So, hope you guys can also join us on the next meetups here in Albay.
Ayan, thank you so much, Isma. And then, Chin, then, any final words and where can
Right.
people find you?
Final words, I think I like what Isma mentioned about like nagkakaroon ng mga startup communities in Bicol and medyo supportive yung mga tao dun sa inyo, no? So I think that's an interesting thing that is happening. And especially ngayon na nagkakaroon nga ng meetups in regions, baka magkaroon din ng startup ecosystem or more projects can be built out of those in real life events. So for those na are eyeing to attend these events, check nyo yung BitPinas page on the upcoming ones for this year and hopefully more people can attend. And if not, pwede naman online. And yung mention din ni Aldrin, no, na during these market cycles, to just like um, educate yourself. I think Mike mentioned that as well. Educate yourself more during these times and to keep yourself productive. So yun, people can find me here, here, and my username. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter. So yeah, thank you, Mike.
Ayan. So, thank you so much to our audience and our guests, no? So, this is Michael from BitPinas. Mag-ingat kayo sa scammers. We will never ask you to give us crypto in exchange for more crypto. And all of the discussions here are for information purposes only. So, crypto is risky, play to earn is risky. And but of course, we are at the forefront of something that is new, no? Itong new technology. So, ignorance is very expensive. Read BitPinas and watch everything that you can. This is BitPinas Webcast signing off. See you next week. So
Thank
thank
you,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye!